Greetings, English C1000 students. So you are currently enrolled in the 8-week English C1000 course. And so we actually begin October 20th. And my name is Dr. Hedgecock, and I just wanted to introduce you to myself and help you to get started on the course and kind of introduce you to the materials that we're going to be covering. So what I would like to do is we'll take a look at the following. I just want to help navigate you through our homepage and then go through, show you where the orientation module is located, and then the way in which you can access the weekly modules. So let's go ahead and take a look at our homepage to get started. So this is the C1000 8-week online course. And as you can see, we have right here, when you go onto my homepage, when you click on your Canvas course shell for the course, you'll see my name, and then below that is the email address in which you can reach me at any time. Usually, I have the 24-hour rule, so when students email me, I will get back to you within 24 hours. Definitely much quicker than that, unless it's on the weekend. And usually, if I get an email after 5 o'clock on a Friday, then I will respond to that email by Monday morning. So, kind of the regular banker's hours. Office hours are Monday and Wednesday from 11 a.m. Actually, that should be 12:30 a.m. until 12 p.m. And then Tuesday and Thursday from 12 to 1. You can actually catch me on Zoom, and the Zoom link is located right here. So when you click on that link, that is the link to office hours. You can also see me if you happen to be on campus. I will be in LRC 324. And again, that's Monday and Wednesday from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 to 1. Again, our start date is this Monday, October 20th, and then the end date for our course is December 17th. Right here on your homepage, you have quick links to the syllabus, to again contacting me. If you have questions that you want to discuss, please don't hesitate to put them in the raise hand function. And this is where all students can share feedback, maybe areas that, you have questions about. So I usually check that daily. And then for the readings, to immediately access those, you can just click on this link. Here is a link for tech support. The orientation module is right here. And then we have the policy on AI. I will be covering that in a little bit later. And then we have access to the online databases, and that's for, doing research work through ProQuest or JSTOR. Right here, we have the weekly modules all through week 1. I'm going to go ahead and direct us first to our orientation module, which is located right here at the top of the page. So even if you were to click on modules, you'll see this at the top. If you click on this page right here, again, it helps to navigate you, gives you an overview, student outcomes, activities, navigation, ways of contacting me, tips for success. Right here we have kind of the start dates, and that is, when we're starting, course made available, etc. And I would suggest before you click on next, make sure that you click on these links at the top. That again, it covers outcomes, activities, navigation tools, methods of contacting me. And let's see, what else do we have? And here we have, yes, office hours from 10:30 to 12 o'clock, tips for success. Before you go on to the next page, which again, you'll make sure that you click on all the links at the top. This is a zero textbook course, which means that all of the readings are available in your Canvas course shell for free. We have tips on study skills, online success, different notifications, and then of course groups, group contact, group work that we'll be covering. And going on to the next link, again for accommodations, that information, especially for DSPS, is located here. Campus resources, are also located here. We have tutoring services, counseling services, financial aid, etc. Disaster plan in case something goes wrong. If you've ever been in the situation where your computer has crashed, hopefully you have access to the cloud. All of that materials has been saved on the cloud. And then these are Canvas tutorials and then other technology tutorials as well. And then clicking through the next link, again, we have just on grading and copyright and recording, drops and makeups, academic integrity statement. And this is a statement on, again, Chat GPT for AI. So any use of AI, large language models, will be considered academic dishonesty and not the student's own work, and will be subject to disciplinary action, subject to sanction to accordance with the Saddleback College's disciplinary procedures. And this is located in rules and regulations. So I do check every single essay now for any sort of AI detection. I actually pay for an AI detector source that is highly rated. There is a zero tolerance in my class for that. That also includes other apps to help students write their essays, such as Grammarly. That also is a form of cheating. So students do need to revise and edit their own work. And then over here on our next link, again, policy on AI and external sources. This is the longer text. And again, this is part of the policy. Make sure that you read this. If you are having questions, obviously, with working on your essays, that would be a very good time to reach out to me. It's more than a pleasure to help you be successful in the course. So, please contact me by email, meeting me on office hours. So make sure that while we kind of zip through that, make sure that you read each of the links and all of the headings for the orientation module carefully. Make sure again that you take a look at our course syllabus. And, once more, the course syllabus, if you go to your home page, it's located right down here under quick links. So if we click on our syllabus, again, this gives you all the details for the course, which also includes our weekly schedule, and that is at the end of the course syllabus. So if you scroll down, and this is taking a little bit of time to load, if you scroll down here, it's on the last few pages. And so for those of you that like to get a head start on reading material or drafting the essays, you can take a look at the schedule to see what we have coming up. So for example, for week 1, and that's beginning October 20th, we are going to have a discussion of the personal narrative. We are reading My Father's Life by Raymond Carver, which is a short narrative. Off the Shelf by Patti Smith, which is even a shorter narrative. And then we have, again, the assignments, which are located in this column over here. So there will be a quiz, 3 quizzes, 1 on the syllabus, 2 on My Father's Life by Raymond Carver, and then the 3rd quiz is on Off the Shelf by Patti Smith. We have a meet and greet video post that is due October 23rd. Make sure that you reply to 2 of your peers by October 26th. We do have our first discussion board, which is a jumping off point for our first formal writing assignment, in which we'll be writing about a family member that has influenced our life. So you will be posting your initial post by October 23rd and then responding to your peers um, by October 26th. So you'll need to respond to at least 2 of your peers. And then we have a second discussion board getting started on the thesis, and this will be for essay number 2. And again, that's another discussion board in which you'll be responding to 2 of your peers. Let's go ahead and take a look at the week 1 module, which is right here. And so again, for all of these, you want to make sure that you read through each link, beginning with the overview for week 1. And so this kind of gives you a summary of what we're going to be covering for our first week, and it includes the due dates. So make sure that you turn in all of these materials. We have the readings for My Father's Life, and Off the Shelf, we've got quizzes, 3 of them, again, for Carver, Smith, and the syllabus quiz. We have the video post, the meet and greet, in which you'll be recording a video. So that way you can get to know your peers and actually see them, and it gives us, some kind of, live presentation. And then again, you have 2 discussion boards that'll be due. So if we go to our next module, this is your weekly checklist. And so it explains the objectives and goals that we have for the week. the outcomes of what you should know, assignments and due dates, and then feedback and grades. And then we have the learning materials for the narrative essay. And this is where you will have the video lectures. I try to keep them relatively short. I do suggest that students take notes on the videos, which oftentimes covers old materials that we'll need to understand and develop, different methods of writing in those materials that will apply to our formal writing assignments. So, and then if we go to the next module, this is the learning materials for Raymond Carver and the problems of everyday life. It also includes a video that covers more biographical information of Raymond Carver, since presumably many of you may not know who he is, although there have been two films that have been based on his short stories, and that was Shortcuts and Birdman, which featured Michael Keaton. And so in the next video, we have, again, learning materials for Patty Smith, another video that is included that gives you some more feedback on her life and her background. In the next link, again, this is the narrative essay, and it helps you to get started on brainstorming ideas for the narrative. And then in the next link, we have the formal essay number 1. This will be due on November 6th. Before then, we will have the working draft due next week, which will be on October 30th. So that's on Thursday. We have a peer review that's due on November 2nd, which is on Sunday. And then the final draft will be due again on November 6th. So this gives us, an outline of the purpose, what the personal narrative will include, and then the question at issue for the thesis statement, considerations of your audience. It provides the full rubric, and then the reading materials that relate to that first writing assignment. And that would be, again, the personal narrative. So in this next link, we have the peer review guidelines, and that is what we will be using to respond to two of our assigned peers' essays, in which we will read and comment on their draft. So these guidelines give us an explanation of what we specifically need to address in our peers' essay that they submit as their working draft. And again, this will be due next week. So working draft due October 30th, and then the peer reviews will be due on November 2nd. And then going on to our next link, and this is for the video and the meet and greet. It basically helps us to get better acquainted with one another. This is going to be due October 23rd is when your initial video should be posted. It's only going to be about maybe 1 minute to 3 minutes long. And we want to make sure that we respond to two of our peers' video posts by October 26th. And then we have the syllabus quiz, followed by the quiz on My Father's Life by Raymond Carver, and then finally Patty Smith. So make sure that you cover all the readings. You'll have 20 minutes to finish each of these quizzes. So 20 minutes for the syllabus quiz, and so on and so forth for the remaining two quizzes. This is where our first discussion board post is located on a family memory. And again, this is a jumping off point for our first writing assignment. And then we have the discussion board for the thesis discussion question and the assignment, etc. So, and for this, we'll actually be assigned peers for, those first two responses. So those will be coordinated. Make sure that you upload your initial post by that first due date, which again, for this will be October 23rd. And then for the first written assignment, that too is due October 23rd for your first initial post. And that wraps up week 1. So this class does move at a pretty heavy pace. It's really important to just make sure that you're keeping up. And then when you do feel like you're getting stuck or you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can either email me or again, visit me on Zoom. It's always a pleasure to see students if you happen to be on campus. And of course, it'd be a pleasure to meet you in person. So I look forward to working with everyone. and I hope you have a fantastic day.